As a matured astrologer, you need to start probing yourself in terms of, hey, why was this combination so tough? Why is Mars in the seventh house causing its challenges? Where is the drishti of Mars?
Hello, Jyotisha lovers. In this video, we are going to understand the concept of Graha Drishti, the importance of how planets interact with each other, and more importantly, how the karmas flow within each other. Does Ketu have a Drishti? We are going to understand. Does Rahu have a Drishti? And if yes, does it have a straight Drishti or does it have a retrograde Drishti? These are few of the questions we are going to address with example charts. So sit back, enjoy, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. Click on the bell icon to ensure that whenever we upload the video or we put up any announcement, you are the first ones to know and you just don't miss out on the free sessions that we are giving up. If you are somebody who wants to learn advanced Jyotish and wants to get into any of the advanced astrology courses that we are conducting, please message us on the WhatsApp number and the email ID of the help desk. There are some courses which are coming up and you can surely be considered. So enjoy. Thank you so much for your time and all the questions in the comment section after going through all the videos. Thank you.
So, namaste everybody, and a very, very good evening, or whatever the place you are. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What we are going to discuss today is a very, very important topic, and a topic which, frankly speaking, a lot of seniors have seen they don't know. Uh, if they haven't studied Parashara, they haven't studied in the tradition, then a lot of times I have been very, very surprised that even basic, the drishtis, etc., a lot of astrologers don't know about. And nonetheless, what we are going to do is we are going to study the detailed concepts of what we call it as drishti. Now, drishti in a very, very basic way could be termed as, just looking or viewing, but is there more to it is something that we are going to talk about today. More importantly, as we go ahead in this series of Graha Drishti, we are going to also talk about how planets interact. Like, why does Saturn in the fourth house, have to give you an issue related to home? Or in there will be one strategic mistake that you end up doing in your life. So what is it about it? So a lot of times when we talk about the placement of a planet, uh, we don't understand that actually it is more about the aspect of the planet. Where is it seeing? you know where is the planet actually having the drishti? What are the houses it is affecting? So that is very important, and that is the paradigm shift which you all need to have, and you will have by the end of the session. It's a lot of times they say that, hey, Rahu in or Ketu in the lagna causes problem in the marriage, let's say, right? But the problem is not Ketu. If Ketu is in lagna, Rahu will be in the seventh house, right? So likewise, there were a lot of hidden sutras where the knowledge was actually between the lines. And that is what we need to understand. As a matured astrologer, as a mature student, you need to start probing yourself in terms of, hey, why was this combination so tough? Why is Mars in the seventh house causing its challenges or conflicts? You know, Maranakaraka is one part of it, but now we are going to take that concept a little ahead. How about understanding, hey, where is the drishti of Mars? What is it looking at? And then let us understand the whole concept, right? So, what we are going to do today is, like always, I like to break it up into small, measurable goals, so to say. And we are going to understand the concept of drishti based on classics as well. Like, what is drishti? Most of the time, people are very used to this seventh house aspect, right? And most of them feel that, hey, every planet looks at the seventh house. But does Ketu aspect the seventh house? Uh-uh. That is very important for us to understand that if Ketu is aspecting the seventh house, then how does it work? That means, that the one planet which is a Moksha Karaka is looking at the seventh house of, rebirth. How is that going to happen? That's completely conflicting or defeating the purpose of Ketu being Moksha Karaka. So how have the rishis sort of underplayed it? How have the rishis sort of given a clarity in terms of how to handle Ketu in terms of drishti? Now, when it comes to drishti, obviously there is the graha drishti and the rashi drishti as well, right? So that is very important. So we are going to sort of understand that. So in this series, definitely we are going to start with the graha drishtis, but we are going to do the rashi drishtis as well. A lot of example charts, obviously, for the application of knowledge and the understanding of the knowledge and processing of the knowledge in today's time, right? So I always like to do that, that hey, now that we know the knowledge which of the scriptures which was written, centuries back, you know how do we follow up that knowledge, how do we leverage that knowledge and use it in today's time, in our today's day-to-day dealings? How do we break up that knowledge? How do we break up into smaller parts for us to understand the smaller parts first and then understand the whole knowledge and then to apply the knowledge, right? So it's very, very simple way of learning it. Yeah. Now, the whole concept of drishti. Now, I got this beautiful picture which I felt was very, very apt for this particular slide. And just with two eyes, deep in the jungles, and technically everybody would feel nobody is looking at it. Okay. So drishti as a very basic concept means to see, right? Generally we denote it with our eyes, we say that, hey, our eyes are the ones, which are giving the drishti, which are giving the ability to see, the ability to vision, you know. So we are going to see that how planets have this ability to see. Okay. And planets have an ability to see based on the placement, right? For any planet or any graha drishtis to be deciphered, we first need to know where is the planet placed. Hey, Jupiter in Lagna is superb. Okay, superb, agreed. But it is superb because it is having the Jnana Drishti on the fifth and the ninth house. So these are the smaller things which you need to understand is very, very important, right? That it is okay to see, but what is the planet seeing? Which are the karmas that the planet is manifesting in that period? And it will manifest the karmas, it will help you or block you or hammer you based on where it is placed, based on the placements. And that is something which is very important. Without a particular placement or without a particular yoga, the planet cannot impact. Lastly, we need that planet to be the center forward if it is a good planet and is associated with good yogas. Then we need it dasha or antardasha to actually help get those results. And we are going to talk about it in detail, but the whole concept of drishti is primarily based on the placement, especially graha drishti, as well as rashi drishti for that matter. Because where it is going to be is the place where it's like their home office. That's the working zone. Now from there, it is going to do the work that God has given them to do, and based on which they have been given the special drishtis. Okay, so it's very, very important. Last but not the least, I have told you n number of times that it's all about the eclipse, because the moment you talk about grahas, you have to remember grahana, right? I've always kept on talking about it. If you have forgotten it, please go to the YouTube channel and look for the planets in the houses and all those videos. I have talked about it n number of times that it's all about grahana. So as much as we might feel the planets are our friends, the fact of the matter is that hey, they are there because of the karmas. And when a particular karma is going to ripen, that particular dasha is actually, going to start. Or shall we say that a planet is forcing you to, in a way, start doing karmas so that it can give you the results. Obviously, there is a free will, but then depending on how strong the karma is, sometimes we end up doing it nonetheless, right? Again, we are talking about the Dhrida karmas, etc. And we have talked about it before, right? So, it is nothing but the whole eclipse plan, right? So after looking at a horoscope, we generally see that, hey, what is the eclipse plan? Where are the planets eclipsing your mind? Where is it pushing you towards? Hey, I am a great karma yogi. Okay, so you are in the office all the time, working all the time, and your wife, ran away with somebody else. And you might keep saying that, hey, I have a fantastic yoga related to the 10th house. But hey, did it affect your 7th house? Or oh, I'm a very, very doting wife, but what happened to your career? You have just made yourself a doting wife, or very caring wife, or oh, I ensure that I make breakfast for him, I have food for him and lunch for him and dinner for him, and then your career is gone. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you need to understand a very, very important concept, that there is a huge eclipse which is caused when you are doing a certain karma. And it is very tough to balance all the kendras together. Very tough. You will miss out on some area. And yes, sometimes you need to accept that, right? That's the art of looking at a good horoscope. As they say that you have to be practical, you can't get everything in life, but you don't want to let go of what is given in your life or what the planets are telling you to complete. See, the placement of the planets or what the planets can see, or the graha drishtis or rashi drishtis, is nothing but based on your karma, right? So let's say if somebody was very, very good to their wife, then the 7th house is blossoming. If somebody was very cruel to the wife, then to that extent the 7th house is not prospering. You know, if somebody has done a lot of good karmas related to work, was a fantastic writer, contributed a lot, uh, wrote a lot of jyotish scriptures, taught jyotish, or helped people around, then to that level that 10th house karma is fructifying, right? So we need to find out these trends in a horoscope always. And understanding the Graha Drishtis and the Rashi Drishti is a very, very important aspect to understand where our challenges and where our prosperities come from. Okay, it's more like a SWOT analysis, right? So whenever we look at the chart, we always do a SWOT analysis, right? The strength, the weakness, the challenges, etc., the opportunities in the chart. We have talked about the Atma Karaka, which is your biggest opportunity, and we have talked about the karmas associated with it and many things associated with the other charakarakas also, right? You can refer back to the karakas videos, which will give you more clarity in terms of what I'm talking about. But it is very important for us to understand that you need to understand your roadmap very, very clearly. More importantly, hey, which is a house, or which are the activities which probably I'm not destined to, you know, and we should stop wasting time over it. You know, if I'm not a actor, or I'm not meant for Bollywood, I shouldn't spend my 20 years, trying to become an actor. You know, that's not my calling, so to say. So the calling is purely based on your karmas also, including your kriyaman karma. So all that mixture is very important for us to understand what's happening in our life, which is the planet which is handling the steering wheel. See, we all have a driver, right? Sometimes we feel that we are driving the car, but the fact of the matter is there is somebody else who is sort of guiding us. So the planet which is in the Mahadasha planet is in a way our driver for that phase of our life, right? So if it is Rahu, then 18 years, Rahu is going to drive our car or drive us towards the karmas. Are you able to understand? Start understanding it very, very calmly, and you will be able to understand what the drishti is actually meaning. Now, within drishti, obviously there is two types of drishtis. One is called as graha drishti, one is the rashi drishti, right? Graha drishti is all about your desire, and hence it is the drishti. You have to see, oh, I saw that lady, or I saw that girl. She was so beautiful. I want to marry her. So what is that happening? It's a drishti. That's why they say a lot of karmas are coming through our eyes. And that's why, a lot of great sannyasis, what they used to do, they used to not look at the woman at all. They used to have, or they still have, a separate seating area, because they know that that seventh house is a very, very brittle thing. That seventh house drishti is more of ichha, or kama drishti rather, right? If we have seen, only then do we want. Oh, I saw this nice coconut, man, there. It's very, very nice. My friend went there and he told that it is very, very ripe. So then we understand that, okay, that is a coconut and it is very good coconut, and I want that coconut juice. Or I saw that apple on the tree and I feel that, hey, nice ones, how much are they? Can I have, you know, 12 of them? So Graha Drishti is all about what you see or what the planet sees, or in the vision area, right? Whether it is having a pilot eyes, absolutely crystal view, what they call it as what 2020 vision, you know, exactly super eagle's eye, you know, that happens generally when planets are, or things are in front of us very clearly with good light. Or is it fading out a little, like, hey, I feel there is somebody there, I feel something is there, but I'm not sure, because I'm not able to see very clearly. So that drishti is not 100%. That four pada drishti is not there. You understand? So it's very important for us to understand that drishti is not just planets there, but different planets have different ability to see. Now, my grandfather, till he lived, he never had to wear his glasses, probably. He was walking fine, till the end. My uh, grandfather from my mother's side, till the time he lived, he was till the 90s, he was able to walk properly. you know, the power of Gayatri, obviously, because he was also a great Pandit. But in the context of Graha Drishti, what I mean to say is different planets have different vision, and each one of them has a different strength of vision. And this is what most of the astrologers don't know. They generally take the seventh house aspect, which is so wrong. Not every planet has a great seventh house aspect. Mars, for that, is pathetic in the seventh house. It has the least drishti on the seventh house. And hence he is brahmacharya, right? Somebody who is least interested in matters related to marriage, etc. Right? So very, very important. So we will take the next step. Now, we know about the two types of drishtis. We have talked about the graha and the rashi drishti. Technically, the graha drishti and the rashi drishti. See, one, graha drishti is more with your eyes open. Let me put it that way. A lot of times people ask the difference, and I have my own way of sort of finding out a easier method of teaching. Graha drishti is more like what you see with your eyes open. With an open eyes, you are seeing around. Oh, I can see plants. Oh, I can see my India's flag. I can see my watch over here. Hey, I can see Ganesha over here. I can see a tissue box over here. I can see the glass of water over here. And these are all part of our drishti, right? And this is more of a graha drishti. Rashi drishti is more about seeing something, without your eyes open.
Namaste Jyotisha lovers, I hope you loved the video, and if you have any questions, please write down on the comment section. If you are somebody who is new to the concept and wants to learn advanced Jyotish, you might enroll for a lot of our courses which are coming up. Simultaneously, apart from subscribing to the channel, you can also share the videos on your Facebook and other social media platforms, because you don't know if there might be somebody else who is actually looking forward to the knowledge, and you might be the one who can end up helping that particular soul reach the right objective. So take care of yourself and keep learning Jyotish. And as I always say, knowledge is an ocean. Start swimming.